The most phenomenal journey is the inner journey. It can be very mystical. This question came very recently, beloved. Devi Ma, how can I go deeper, understand myself, and explore in depth who I am? What a great question. If you're not willing, if you're willing and you want to come out of your cage, come out of the gel and burst like a beautiful lotus blossom, it's going to be an amazing, phenomenal ride. And especially if you are on the spiritual path. If you are doing Siddha Satchit Kriyananda and different kind of meditation, and you're practicing mindful practices, walking meditation, and mantra yoga, it's actually, you can accelerate even faster. So that means, beloved, you're walking from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment. And it's inevitable. If you're walking that path, you are already going deeper as you go. However, Devi Ma has 5 ingredients that are wonderful ingredients and very useful and very practical for you to go deeper in understanding yourself. The first one is, and this is a hard one for most people, if you look deep down into yourself, and are you in a state of wonderment about life? Are you like a child? Not childish, a childlike. Notice a child or even a cat, how they are. Everything is new. Everything they see is beautiful. A bee, a flower blossoming, a cloud passing by, or a little ant. Everything is new. So when you're in a state of wonderment, you're seeing through the eye of your third eye. Is that everything is fresh, everything is beautiful, everything is new. And what happened next? Naturally, it comes to ingredient number 2. You stay willing, in a state of wonderment, in a state of openness and receptivity. Have you noticed that? If you're like a child will never say, oh, I know that, I know. No, they don't know anything. Even if they do, they pretend everything. You see how children are, they play with their toys. It's like it's the first time they're playing. Everything is new. It's very hard for conditioned human beings with personality, with like and dislike, with so much brainwashing and conditioning and all the things we have talked about, the karmic impression and the vasana, the tendency to certainly see everything anew. Then if you start becoming aware of that and really be here now in the Zen moment, then naturally you will see everything in a state of wonderment, which leads to ingredient number 2, willingness, openness. Your gate is wide open. You can receive grace. You receive everything. You are receptive. How can you receive and go deep inside and understand yourself if you're not open and receptive? Which brings us to the third ingredient, compulsion. How many of you are aware of your compulsion? Most people don't even know what is a compulsion. So ingredient number 3 is to become aware of your compulsion and get rid of them. Get rid of them is easy when you do sadhana, spiritual practices, but also just the fact that you become aware of them is 95% of the work. Did you know that? Already you're aware. If you have a tendency of overreacting because, let's say, you get very angry at politicians, for example, and You just are, and that suddenly, if you stop, you say, oh, I'm reactive, I'm defensive, I'm being compulsive. It's affecting my biochemistry. I'm not using my magical one. So you see, you become aware of your compulsion. As soon as you become aware of it, you can either feed them, create them into energy habit, or you could say, I'm just going to burn them into the fire of my Kriya. I'm not going to carry them with me. I'm going to get rid of it. But the first thing, beloved, you got to become aware of it. If you're not aware of it, that you have that compulsion, how can you get rid of it? And so, compulsion are your string, puppet string. They control you. Ego feeds on them, gives you a sense of self, gives you a sense, but it's not making you happy. How can you go deep within yourself if you are always living a life that is compulsive? Most people do, and they don't realize that. And so, which lead us to ingredient number 4, silence. How many people are silent? Silence, solitude, and vulnerability. Those goes together, beloved. I repeat again, ingredient number 5 is silence, solitude, and vulnerability. What happens when you silent? Silence is not just keeping your mouth shut. It's making your mind still. Take a distance. Silence brings a new form of listening. You're listening with your soul and your spirit. Every particle of your being can hear. That's what solitude brings, because if you are constantly distracted by sensory impression, and Gautama the Buddha warned us with that, what happened, most people start ingesting a lot of sensory impression, right? Have you seen that in your life, beloved? Ruled by the media, the news, the social media, the conversation, the gossiping. And at the end of the day, you go to sleep or let's say in your work, and you consume so much. Consuming, we're not talking just in terms of food and drink. We're talking in terms of sensory impression from the environment. Bringing that silence, bringing that solitude away from phone, eye drop, constantly looking. That's a compulsion. Most people are not aware. There's a good majority of people who are very compulsive with their phone. They're constantly checking, what's going on. And they're not even aware that it's compulsive. So you take solitude. It's like the moon reflecting on the lake. When it's calm, you can really see the full moon, the full light. Solitude and silence will bring you that. And you see, beloved, what will happen after that? You will start becoming vulnerable. You go deep. You will start, not you, naturally, nature, the divine, the primordial energy will naturally bring what needs to bring up. You will be in touch with your feelings, with your emotion. Most people live their life in a compulsory way and just constantly, and they vomit. Have you seen that? They vomit all the time, and it's conditioned, and they're not in touch with their emotion and their feelings, and they repress. So the 4th ingredient of silence and solitude will bring that vulnerability to feel what's happening inside my being. Be in touch. And that allows you to process your karma. You're processing your karma, which leads us to the 5th ingredient. 5th ingredient is contemplation, self-introspection, and journaling. So journaling allowed you to gain revelation. It allows you to go deeper and process your feelings and your emotion. And then you can go at the ocean for a walking meditation. You sit by the bank and then you just breathe in, breathe out. You chant a few mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, or a few incantation, and then you write down in your journal. They could be in a mountain, solitude, where you're away, no phone, and write down, and you will have epiphany. You will have revelation. Out of a sudden, something will come up. You might even have tears in your eyes. You might have all kind of things, a mystical experience. So this allows you, the journaling allows you to process your karma. Self-introspection, let's give a word on that. Self-introspection is not bashing and condemning yourself. It's the opposite. Self-introspection is to become a witness of your life and look back and see and nurture your soul, nurture your spirit, and be a divine parents to yourself. How can I move on with my life that is empowering, that I feel my very best and I'm on top of the world? And this is self-introspection, and you look and you be honest, and it requires humbleness. You have to be a certain amount of humbleness to say, okay, this is not working in my life, and I take responsibility. How can I change that? And you will gain revelation. You will have epiphany, aha moment, and say, oh my God. But through journaling, combining with self-introspection and contemplation will do it. And when you practice all of those ingredients, stay in a state of wonderment, stay willing, open, and receptive. And what Devi Ma means by that is, are you willing to say, when I know, I know. When I don't know, I don't know. And that requires to be humble. And that will serve your highest good. And then be aware of your compulsion. Awareness, bring the awareness of the blue flame. Remember, we talked about that. And you say, oh, compulsion. Hello, my little friend. Here you are. I'm going to sweep you away in the fire of Kriya right now. We don't need you. And this is how you change your impression, your samskar, right, beloved? Remember, use your magical wand, you the biochemist, you divine alchemist, so you can change that. And then bring solitude, silence. Take the time and stop everything, new music, no phone, nothing, and go for a walking meditation. Contemplate, sit down, self-introspect, and write in your journal. You would be amazed of the healing it will bring you, number one. Number two, it's very empowering. And number three, you will start seeing transformation. I have a beloved now who is in the program, in Becoming the Light Mastery program. He's journaling and he's doing the program too, because it's an inner journey. So this is how you go deep within yourself. And as you cut the string, the puppet string, and as you go deeper, you will understand yourself. It will become clear. Clarity will come more and more. Because remember, enlightenment is all about that. It's pushing the boundaries of ignorance to completely bring the light and see things as they are. And that includes your life, beloved, because you want to go. So self-improvement, personal growth is easy as a breeze when you're willing and you're receptive and you're willing to give effort and be gentle with yourself, one baby step at a time, and then just feel good about yourself. because not everybody is willing to grow. And that alone is already a lot. And Devi Ma, bow down to you, because it's so beautiful that you already there, even sitting here and here on with us online. So if you found this video valuable, and I know some of your friends must feel that way, you know, how do I understand myself? How do I go deeper? Share that video and subscribe and like the button, press the button. And any question, how is it among those 5 ingredients, which one do you feel like, wow, that one really hit me? I never practiced that, never did that. Write it down in the comment section, which one. But remember, beloved, bring them, because the synergy of all of them, that's what makes it the magic of it. And always bring your magical one. Always. Of your thoughts, the right words, the right action will create the biochemistry of a certain emotion, certain feelings, and that will affect your energy, your pranic body, and it feeds to each other. So